This is my iPhone. I have it set up like the 12 houses of the zodiac. As for each house, I have stuff pertaining to. In the house of Aries, the breath, the first I am. Of course, going right to left. My first thing is the Torah. I made a mistake in the last video. I grabbed the wrong car for the sun. 22. I had used 21 for Jupiter. So I'm looking at this chart right now, and this is where I'm thinking you can look in someone's face and different energies and parts of their body and whatnot, and you can tell that they are of. You can tell certain characteristics repeat, and time is now. This is where the planets were when I was born, but still where the planets are for me, because this is the time fixated in. It doesn't change as it revolves. What's in me is fixed. The outer circumstances affect the outer world around, but not me personally. And of course, everything is within you. You've never experienced a thought outside yourself because it's impossible. Anyway, the first, good, you can see that. The first letter of the alphabet of the Torah is the B, the bait. Mercury is an encapsule. Take divine knowledge and you encapsulate it into something. And of course, that's how Mercury thinks. I am Mercury at 1 degree Scorpio when I was born, and the next letter is the the Sun, the Resh, which I have at 0 Scorpio. So when I was born, B and R were 1 degree apart, and this, if anybody's into sacred geometry, how all things come together, and this would be the start right here. These are all like an Ark of a Covenant sort of message, how a person's designed and what's free will and what's predestined. Well, the zodiac's always the same for everybody in making this, but all our planets are off the line to how we think. So the first two, and then it goes out to an aleph, which is the hand that connects what is above with that which is below. As above, so below. As you think it, so is it saw. And I had an expression when I was younger. I don't know where in astrology this idea came from. And that was before I even studied all this. Where, somewhere out in the depth of space, is this idea? And it was pretty much a concept I knew without anyone teaching me. But from these two, it jumps out to Uranus, and Uranus, the aleph, out in the air before it gets to water. And so it's your thought in your center, and then somewhere up in Capricorn was the Aries. And you see that the distance there is about somewhere between around 50 degrees maybe. And each of these, we're making lines, we're making connections here. And then from there it goes to the Shin, which Pluto, 19 degrees Scorpio for me. And then it goes to the Y, the Virgo, the analyzer at 150 degrees of the zodiac. And that's how it thinks till it's brought to an end. So as you think, the center of what it is will affect you as above, so below. Analyze that until the covenant of all of Israel to remember your eternity is transient time. Taking away is not important. So I'm not good at speaking all this. I'm not even sure I know what I'm talking about completely in my head. But if you go through the Torah and distances between each letter, there's a math system all throughout the Hebrew. And I think the knowledge of exactly what that means, if you can get that into science, that, all these lines and measurements mean a certain thing, uh, it would put a lot of things together. You could probably scientifically tell where someone was born in the wheel of time. Alright. Hope that helped.